Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you my biggest book haul yet. So I decided not to film a book haul in June because I didn't feel like I had enough books. Now I have a June and July book haul and I'm sort of ashamed but sort of loving it at the same time. So my TBR cart looks a bit weird, and that's because most of these books have been pulled off there, but I now have a full set of bookshelves, I have a full TBR cart, and I have a full shopping bag in my cupboard that's like hidden. So there's a lot here. I have not counted. I will count and make sure I put it in the title of the video. I think it's in the 30s. So let's just get started. The first book I have here is Normal People by Sally Rooney. So I got this through my the Facebook book club I'm in, and there was a book exchange. So you posted one book you wouldn't mind posting to somebody else, and I requested this one from somebody in the group. To be honest, I don't know what it's about. I just know that everyone loves it, and I don't have enough time to talk about every single book in this video, so we have this one. Next, I have a book that was gifted to me, and that is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. So I got this from Rebecca at Rebecca Reads. I've already read it. I gave it 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. It is, as it says on the tin, it's about a Southern book club and vampires. Genuinely really loved it and can't wait to read more of Grady Hendrix's work because this was such a good time. So next we have an Amazon / used bookstore order I made. There are quite a few here. The first one being The Switch by Beth O'Leary. This I'm actually reading right now. I'm buddy reading it with Emily over at Novell Novels. So we've done day 1 of our buddy read, and it shouldn't take us too long. This is about Lena, who lives in London, and she's having a bit of a bad time with her job, and then it's about her grandmother Eileen, who lives up north somewhere. I actually can't remember where she lives. Rural Yorkshire, and she is in her 70s, early 79. She's 79. And she wants to find love. So they are going to switch houses, and Eileen is going to move down to London to find the man of her dreams at 79 years old. It's a good time so far. I'm getting so warm, so I'm probably going to be rushing this a little bit. The next book I've got is Matched by Ali Condie. I read this when I was like 13, and I remember it being the best thing since sliced bread, so I wanted to read it again. I also remember that the second book everyone said was rubbish, so I didn't carry on. But I remember loving this story so much, I want to read it again. This is on her 17th birthday. Cassia meets her match. Society dictates he is her perfect partner for life, except he's not. In Cassia's society, officials decide who people love, how many children they have, where they work, when they die. But as Cassia finds herself falling in love with another boy, she's determined to make some choices of her own, and that's when her whole world begins to unravel. So it's a YA dystopian back from like the early 2010s, I think. First published 2010. So it's very cheesy, and I cannot wait to read it again. Next, we have a book that I've had my eye on for a while and just never purchased, and that is The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Rees Brennan, and Maureen Johnson. So this is about Magnus Bane from the Shadowhunter universe, and I believe it's just like a collection of short stories about him and his life. And to be quite honest, I cannot wait to read it. Magnus Bane is my favourite character, especially from the Mortal Instruments series. Maybe not overall Cassandra Clare, but definitely from Mortal Instruments. I've never read this, and I'm hoping to get around to it relatively soon. Seriously so warm. The next book I have is Dead Girls Don't Lie by Jennifer Shaw Wolfe. I believe my friend Sydney told me about this. I don't remember seeing it on BookTube, and I know nothing about it. Just to read the bit off the back, it says, "We're in trouble. Meet me at my house now. Don't tell your dad. Don't call the police. Don't tell anyone what you saw." I want to go into this relatively blind, as it is a YA thriller, so I'm not going to look into more than that, but I felt like it was worth checking out, and I got it for a couple of pounds, so I really wasn't bothered. Another one I got in that order was Slender Man by Anonymous. It just says Anonymous as the author. This cover is insanely creepy, and it is told through mixed media. The only ones I've picked are paragraphs. Well done, Chloe. Here we go, there's some text messages. So it's told through mixed media. It's about Slender Man, as far as I'm aware. And that's all I know, and I'm not going to find out more about it. But Emily from Emily Kathleen Reads read this, and I was very intrigued by her talking about it. So I grabbed a copy for myself, and I now own it. I've also just realised the lighting is changing quite a lot. the weather, my room, I can't make this any better, but we will just stick with it. Still in that order, I bought myself Geekerella by Ashley Poston. So this is a Cinderella retelling with a geek. But we've also had, there was a Beauty and the Beast one released relatively recently, and that is what made me want to pick this book up. I know nothing about it apart from Cinderella retelling. I'm not in any rush to get to it, but it is like immaculate, and maybe I did buy this brand new actually, and it was just really cheap, so I grabbed it. Right, I'm sorry, I've had to adjust a little bit. It's really, really warm. I'm really struggling. The next book I have here, still on the Amazon order, is This Lie Will Kill You by Chelsea Pitcher. I've not looked into this at all. It's a YA thriller, and it says for fans of One of Us is Lying. So that is all I needed to know about this one. I've just seen that there's a contest for a £50,000 prize. That's all I'm looking at. It's a YA thriller. I'm excited. And the last one from that order was All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. This is another one that my friend Sydney told me to look for, and I got it very, very cheap. It's a very rubbish copy. You can't really see that on camera, like you might not be able to pick it up, but this said it was like new condition, and this is actually the second book I received from them, and it was in slightly better condition than the first, but I think some sellers need to readjust what they're calling like new edition. A cracked spine is not like new edition, I'm sorry. So yeah, I have this, again, YA thriller or adult thriller. Well, it says young woman goes missing. It says thriller, so maybe it is an adult thriller. I'm not even sure. Not finding out. It's a thriller. Just going to go into it blind. So now I have a order. I bought some books off somebody on Facebook for very, very cheap. They turned up maybe yesterday and are in my Join the Six vlog. I don't know which one of those videos is going to come up first. Only problem with these, like, they're amazing. They are slightly rubbish quality, but I paid very little for them. But they stink of cigarettes, like badly. So I'm going to take these back outside when I'm done filming this. The first one I have is Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I have not read Illuminae. It is up on my shelves ready. So I bought book number 2, and I also bought Obsidio. Book number 3. So I have both of these now for whenever I get round to Illuminae, assuming I like Illuminae. But, you know, why not just be toxic and buy the whole series when I haven't read the first one yet? Next book I have is Frozen Charlotte by Alex Bell. So that's from this order too. I read this from the library I read it as an ARC through a library book club just before it came out. So it came out in 2015. So yeah, that would have been a long time ago. I was definitely in high school when I read this. Yeah, I was in high school when I read this, so it was 2014, so I must have got hold of it in 2014. Either way, I read it before it was published, and it terrified me, and it is, well, it says YA, but I was always convinced it was a middle grade. Either way, it was too scary for something aimed at, like, young teens. I was very freaked out. There are dolls, there are things living in the walls. I want to read it again to see, I can't remember what happens, and I want to be scared again. Next, I did another stupid thing and bought a sequel before reading the first book, and I now own Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. I just grabbed this because it was on that person's Facebook. I tried to read Throne of Glass very recently and didn't get into it and just sort of moved on to different things. So I'm not sure whether I will keep this, but I'm keeping it for now in the chance that I read Throne of Glass, because why not have too many books? And the last one I got from Facebook from that same person was Ink by Alice Broadway. This is about a world where everything you do is marked on your, like, tattooed onto your skin, and when you die they make a book, is how I've heard it described. I don't really know too much about it. I know that the cover is very, very cool, and it was really cheap on that guy's Facebook, so yeah. Next, I have some books that I got through the Bookswap website that I've been using quite a lot. The first one being Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. So I actually only spent about £3 like on delivery for this. Apart from that, it was kind of free. It says, this is a book about two teens who fall in love over cereal and a boy stuck in a time loop and the moments that make a life worth reliving. Obviously it says more on the inside. Oh, it's also signed. But I don't want to know. I want to go kind of blind. And this got a lot of attention recently. And I wanted to see what it was all about. I also got from that website The Five by Hallie Rubenhold, The Untold Lives of the Women Killed by Jack the Ripper. So this is an in-depth look into Jack the Ripper's victims, because I really know nothing about them. And I've heard a lot of people say like all they knew about them before going in was that they were prostitutes, and that is how like Jack the Ripper's victims get explained, to say, oh, they were all prostitutes. And this just gives more information about their lives, which is deserved. They were killed in such a brutal way. So this is quite a chunky book, really. I don't typically read things like this, but I am really intrigued. Next, I have a book I bought on Brittany's recommendation, again from this Bookspot website, and that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. So we read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo for our June Sisters Approximately book club. I really, really loved it. I don't typically read fantasy, but Leigh Bardugo's writing in Ninth House I thought was absolutely amazing. So I grabbed a copy of this while I saw it cheap. We still have a lot of books to go, so I'm going to start talking a little bit less, maybe just tell you where I got these books. The next one is Someone We Know by Shari Lapena. I got this in Waterstones, reduced down to £3 because the cover is a little bit broken on the front. We have yellow sprayed edges. It is signed by the author, and I got it for £3. I also have, what book is it here? The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapena, which I saved from an unhaul at Brittany's house. So I actually have no idea what this is about. It's a thriller. It's signed. It was £3. Next I have one that I got on, I was going to say Laura's recommendation, Laura's demand, Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. And now I've said that, was it Laura who told me I had to? I'm pretty sure it was. I did try to start reading this. I read 16 pages while I was waiting for something, and I just couldn't really I wasn't in the headspace to read it. I am putting it on my like soon TBR. I'm going to put it back in there actually so I don't forget, because I do really want to read it. And I just paid a couple of pounds for it because I don't think Laura could believe I'd never read it. So I have it now. Next, I have my book from the Reposed book box in July, and that is The Other's Gold by Elizabeth Ames. So this was part of the book subscription box. It seems to be a literary fiction about women who went to college together and like them adapting to adult life. Don't really know much more about it. I'm going to leave it at that. Then I have 10 books that I will just show you all in one because they're all related. They are not in the correct order. That is the Louise Renison, Georgia Nicholson series for Anger Songs and Full Frontal Snogging. So, I mean, I can go through the names because they are all ridiculous names. We have Anger Songs and Full Frontal Snogging. And That's When It Fell Off in My Hand. Then He Ate My Boy in Trances. It's Okay, I'm Wearing Really Big Knickers. Knocked Out by My Nunga Nungas. Dancing in My Nuddy Pants. Are These My Bazoomas I See Before Me? Stop in the Name of the Pants. Love is a Many-Trousered Thing, and Startled by His Furry Shorts. So I cannot wait to read those. I never read them as a teenager, but I love Anger Songs and Perfect Snogging, the movie. I absolutely love it, and I decided I want to give the books a go, and somebody on Facebook was selling them like next to my house, so I got them. Right, we're nearly at the end now, I promise. So 2 books I picked up in a charity shop. The first one is Boys Don't Cry by Mallory Blackman. I read this when I was quite young, really, really enjoyed it. It's about a teenage boy who is left with, well, it's his baby, but the mom just like abandons him with the baby. So it was really good when I read it, but I don't know whether that's because I was a teenager and thought it was even more like scandalous that a teenager could even get pregnant. So maybe that's why I loved it. Either way, I found it for 50p, so I grabbed it. Same situation with Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. This was in the same charity shop. It was like 75p for this, or 2 for £1. So I grabbed it because it was effectively 25p. I know nothing about it. I know it's short. I'll leave it at that. Next was a book I was gifted by Emily at Emily Kathleen Reads, and that is The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint... Why did I try? I could have just said The Little Prince. The Little Prince. It's a very cool edition. The pages are gold. The cover is just, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I do need to read this because I've never read The Little Prince, and I thought I may as well have a cute edition if I was going to. Next, I have a book that was gifted to me by Helen. I can link her Twitter in the description. She just sent me this because she said I might enjoy it, and that is Orion Lost by Alistair Chisholm? Not sure. This is a middle grade about being in space. I believe it was a middle grade monthly pick with Jade from JD Rowe Reads and Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin. So I don't know too much about it. It did sound interesting, especially in the vlog where I received this. I looked more into what it was about, but I am starting to get like lose my voice, so we're gonna stop. And the next 3 books I got on a 3 for £5 at the works deal, because who can avoid those? The first one is The Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Tchok? I don't know. This is about women. So women are boneless mercies. Frey, Ovi, Juniper and Runa are boneless mercies. Death traders hired to kill quickly, quietly and mercifully. It's a job for women and women only. Men do not want this sad, dark work. I really don't know too much about it. It was just in this deal, so I thought I'd grab it. Another one I grabbed was Everything is Lies by Helen Callahan. Again, nothing. It is a thriller, so I really haven't looked into this one. But at 3 for £5, and I'm pretty sure it's mixed media, or it's just... okay, just the chapters are written in different fonts. That has bothered me. I wish I wouldn't have looked. Anyway, thriller, no nothing. It was in the deal. And the final one I have is Vox by Christina Dolce. I am buddy reading this in September with... okay, so I had to check my notes. I'm buddy reading this in September with Emily over at Novell Novels. I think we both own it and just haven't looked into it. I saw loads of people mentioning it, so when I saw it in the works, I grabbed it. So I'm going to stop because I'm seriously out of breath. I feel like a little bit sick and I'm hot, and it's literally just from doing a book haul. Like, book hauls should not make you ill, I'm sorry. But there were just too many books here. So I'm like so grateful to have all of these books now. I just need to find places to house them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of these words, oh my god, and you think I should get on them quickly, then please do let me know. I am definitely up for recommendations. But thank you for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.